Have you been bogged down a bit too much about how to transition, how to move your body in the golf swing? You know, it can happen like that, especially when we get stuck at hitting at the golf ball because we're trying to do so much like this to hit it, you know, to get the speed and various things like this. But what has to happen is we do want to use the ground. And I don't like getting into too much complex kind of swing mechanics because we can strike the ball beautifully even with ridiculous looking golf swings like this that have nothing to do with positions. It's just about flow. However, we can get a bit unstuck when we don't sort of follow some principles. A lot of you will often hang back when you're trying to swing up, like lift the club up a little bit, hang back a little bit too much and try and sort of scoop the shot. Okay, that's the kind of feel that we want, and it's kind of this movement. We want to have extension and zip through the ball. Let's be confident about what we're trying to do. We're trying to thread the ball, we're trying to throw it that way. That's the feeling, and it has to be a sort of athletic movement. Even if you're an old codger, even if you've got achy joints, whatever it might be, we can still have a dynamic golf swing even with limited mobility if you allow the flow to happen, if you allow natural momentum. So there's one, I guess, move, feeling, sensation, whatever is going to give you is sort of trigger a movement to allow you to swing through with a lot more confidence. So this is about the downswing and through swing. But instead of trying to do it with the hands, instead of being so concerned with what the club head is doing, let's see if this works for you. What we're going to feel is actually some pressure coming into the left thigh, into the knee, over the toes. So the first point to note is we don't want to have straight toes like this. We always want the toes turned out because that's how the hips are aligned and also help us rotate through. But let's say the toes are turned out about 30, 40 degrees, okay? The pressure that we want is to apply that way, because from the top of the backswing, we move here, especially with an iron, we're going to be getting that ball first into this position. And we can actually rehearse this a little bit by getting into this sort of position here. So I've got more weight over my knee. I haven't lost my balance completely, but there's pressure into the ball of my foot over onto my thigh, and it's kind of like an impact position. And then I can come from here, and then I can swing through. That is a wonderful practice method, okay? Wonderful. And from there, even though that isn't about a movement, that is more of a position sensation, we want to try and encourage that. So the more you can practice loading up that side here, so it's just there. Then we swing through, a little pump. It's going to give you probably a different sensation. But notice, I'm feeling the weight pressure there, and then all I'm doing is extending up. I'm not flipping the wrist, I'm not doing anything of the sort. It's just momentum pulling me through. That's the feeling we want. It's kind of like a pull. Okay, so there's like phase one to that. Practice that as much as you like. Feel the load. Make a half little swing here, and then swing through. Once you've kind of got the strike down, we basically just go ahead and do it in real life. So now we're making some practice swings. We're feeling that same sensation, but look, it's putting me into that rehearsal of just where we were. I'm waiting for it nicely, and then I extend through. So that's where the practice drill comes in hand. So I make a backswing, and I move through, and I try and replicate the same sensation. The only difference with that is I'm getting a bit more speed, I'm getting a bit more power. With this, you know, I was hitting 6 irons before, then maybe going like 140. That was, you know, my 180 or whatever. That's the only difference. So as you utilize this, make sure that you're not just doing a position. Make sure that you're really feeling that you're moving and accelerating through towards your target. It's very important that you do that. So we make a backswing and accelerate through towards the exact shot that you want to hit, okay? Now, because we're on camera, I don't want to bore you every time. I have just been hitting a few shots a bit too frequently. We need to make sure that you have a specific target, a shot shape, a shot height for every shot. So even with this movement, I want to feel like a slightly higher shot, okay? I want to go a high fade. That's what I want, so my swing is going to reflect that. I make a backswing, and I got a high fade. Even if you're crap, be precise. Feel that transition, use that drill, and I'm pretty sure your striking will improve a lot.